Right, so it's December 6th, a few minutes before the open. I'm taking a look at Ulta this morning. It's kind of an expensive stock, but um, there's some exciting things happening in the market in the pre-market hours. If you look at the Dow Jones, it shot up pretty high. Yesterday was kind of a crappy day. Talks of impeaching Donald Trump, which will never happen, but always seems to get the market jittery. Um, so I think what I'd like to do, it's hovering just below 257 right now. So I think what I'd like to do, I like to buy at whole numbers. So I'm going to put a buy stop in at $257. Now I'm going to be pretty aggressive and put a sell order in at 264. Um, this is if this stock actually, if this trade actually works, we'll make a decent amount of money. So, 264. But I'm not going to count on it going that high, so I'm going to put stop at around 256. So I'm only going to risk $1. Um, so this is a good risk reward ratio. We're looking at, the possibility of making $7 a share versus the risk of only losing $1 a share. So that's pretty decent risk reward ratio. As you can see, stock was trading somewhere in the area of about $236 a share yesterday, and it went all the way up to 264 in pre-market. So the reason why I'm putting my sell stop in here is because obviously in the pre-market hours it went up to just below 264. So now there's a possibility it can go up that high again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, once the trade gets triggered, if it goes up to 257, like I suspect it will, I'm going to put my stop in at 256, and I'm going to raise it as it goes up, called a trailing stop. So as it goes up, I'll raise my stop to protect my gain. Now there is, of course, always the possibility that at the open it will go down. That at the end of the day, no one really knows what's going to happen with the stock. But we'll see. Logic would suggest that it's going to go up. Ulta had reported better than expected third quarter earnings. So that's part of the reason for this massive increase in pre-market hours. That combined with the fact that the market in general is doing well in pre-market. A few seconds before the bell rings, so we should be good to go shortly. And there's the bell. Okay, market's open. Trade has not triggered yet. Actually, it just did. So, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this just below 256. No, it's going down. That's not a good sign. So, this is always a possibility. This is very unusual. Didn't expect this to happen, but the stock went up, triggered the buy at 257, and then it started going down. So now I'm not going to panic too much. I'm not even going to put my stop in yet because I still think that the stock has the potential to go back up. So this might be just some early morning jitters people selling, the stock because it went up, 8 or 9% in pre-market, and it's going up. So since the stock went down to just above 254, I'm going to put my stop at 254 because it didn't quite go down to 254, which means that's a pretty safe place to put our stop. So instead of having a $1 a share risk, I changed it, to a little bit more. So $3. I'm risking $3 to hopefully make $7 a share. But since we bought 1,000 shares, we're talking about a significant amount of money. I mean, I could potentially make $7,000 on this trade if it goes the way I suspect it will. So we're jumping up. We're positive now. It's doing what I thought it was. So at the bell, there was some, indecision. People thinking that the stock was oversold, so everyone was selling. But now the stock is moving in a very favorable direction. I'm going to raise my stop to just let's put it at, I don't think I'm going to get that aggressive yet. Alright, so raise my stop to 250, 256. So the stock is really not knowing what it wants to do yet. So I want to give this an opportunity to breathe because the stock is wiggling around and I don't want to get stopped out just because it's moving around a little bit. So I could have made a quick $1,000, but I guess I'm feeling a little greedy this morning, especially looking at the way the stock is, the pattern looks. I really have a feeling that the stock will have the potential to go up to 263 or 264. So as of now, we've made about $1,500, which is good. Like I said, I could be happy with that, but I really think the stock is going to go up. So I always like to let my winners ride. So P&L is showing that we're at 2,000 so far. What I may do is I may raise my stop to 258, which means that I can't make anything less than 1,000. Okay, so raise my stop to 258, so I know that I'm safe. The stock triggered at 257. So now what I might do is raise it again. Hold off. 260, 59. Raise it to 259. This is a good trade so far. 259. Actually, raise it to 260. Glad I didn't settle for only making 1,000. Looks like the stock is doing everything that I had suspected it would do. Raise my stop to 261. Stock is doing very well. And there we go. Exactly what I thought it would do. And I made $7,000 in 5 minutes. This is an extraordinary trade. Very pleased with the way this worked. You'd need a lot of money to put a trade like this on. I mean, we bought the stock at 257. I mean, you need to have about $250,000 in your account to put a trade like this on. But this is how you crush it in the market, scalping the stock, um, in the early morning hours. This is a great trade. So I'm going to call it quits. Making $7,000 in 5 minutes is good enough for me. So I am going to stop trading for the day, and I guess we'll pick it up again next week.